this is Olivia Gipson, future vet. Today, we're going to be studying this animal. The point of this video is to learn about different bones in the cat skeleton. With these videos, I am going to be attending vet school in the fall, and I might revisit each of the bones as I learn more about them in school. So let's get started. Today, we will talk about the rib. On a cat, the ribs are located here. And if you feel, you can feel the ribs. So if she's standing like this, they're right here. Cats are different from humans in that they have 13 pairs of ribs, meaning they have 26 of these total. There are 3 different types of ribs in the body. The first type of rib is called vertebrosternal. These are also called true ribs, and they're the first 7 pairs of ribs, and they have an attachment to the sternum, which is the middle bone here. The second type of rib is called vertebrochondral. These are different from the true ribs. They're called false ribs, and they are the next 3 pair of ribs after the true ribs. They have indirect sternal connection via cartilage. The last 2 pairs of ribs are called floating ribs. These don't attach to the sternum at all. Now, if we were to classify a rib based on the type of bone it is, there are 3 different types of ways that you can classify a bone. One is through topographical or location. The second one is through development, and the third one is by shape. So if you were to classify it by its location, it would be called an axial bone. Axial bones are generally located from the tail down to the head. If you were to do it developmentally, its classification would be endochondral, which means that it starts developing as cartilage and then is later replaced by the bone you see here today. The type of shape is irregular, not a long bone, not a short bone, it's irregular. So let's go to the parts of the bone. Now, if you want to be simple, there's probably 3 parts of the rib that you really want to know. The first one is going to be the capitulum, which is located at the top of the rib here. This is where it's going to be connected to the vertebrae on the back. The second part is going to be the neck, which is right below the capitulum, and just connects that part together with the rest of the bone, which is the third part, the body of the bone. Now, if you want to get a little bit more advanced, there are some other parts. Here is called the tuberculum. Then you have the angular process. Now, this is going to be hard for me to show you, but if you look along the bone, there's a little bit of a process or a projection right along the back of the bone, opposite the side of the capitulum, and that is your angular process. Now, right beneath your angular process naturally is the angle of the rib bone. You also have the costal groove. The costal groove carries blood vessels and some nerves as well. You have the angular process, the angle, and the costal groove, which is all located on the body of the rib. Welcome to the thinking harder portion of the video, where I'm going to ask you questions so it really gets you thinking and your wheels turning, and then we talk about it. The first question is, what is the purpose of a rib? Go ahead and pause the video and think about that, and then play again, and then we can talk about it. The function of the ribs is mainly to protect all of the important organs, the super important ones, like the lungs, the heart, the liver. Those are 3 really important organs that the cat needs to function and live and survive and be happy. The second question is, why is there cartilage connecting to the different types of ribs? Go ahead and pause the video, and then we can talk about it. Different examples of cartilage that can be found in the body are in the ears and in the nose, which allows for flexibility. Why do the ribs need to be flexible? Think about the organs that it's protecting. First of all, it's protecting the liver, it's protecting the heart, and it's protecting the lungs. But the thing about the lungs is they inflate with air, right, when you breathe. Now, when that happens, they're gonna take up more space, right? The reason that the ribs are connected with cartilage is because they need that flexibility to expand the rib cage. Because if you look and you breathe and you look down at your chest expands. This is a big part of your chest, and it needs that flexibility so you can breathe properly. But this is a fun fact. If you think about turtles, their rib cage is connected to the shell. So how do they breathe? They can't have flexibility if it's connected to the shell, because if you fill a shell of a turtle, it's pretty hard, right? Post a comment down below if you want me to talk about that in another video. So just a review of the parts really quick. Can you tell me what this part of the bone is? the capitulum, right? And then this part here, connecting to the capitulum, the neck. This part right here, the tuberculum. And this little protrusion right here, the angular process. And the part right below the angular process, the angle, right? And then this portion here, the body. And then finally, this little groove here, the costal groove, right? The ribs are super important to the skeleton. They protect really important organs, and they allow support and flexibility for your lungs to breathe. So that's been the rib today. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the cat skeleton. Soon, we'll go over another bone in the cat skeleton.